Well, hello there, Dagger lovers. This old sword back with you again. And today's theme, as you can see and may have read, is the dagger grind. And as it turns out, I have an equal complement of fixed blades and folding blades. 3 fixed, 3 folding, if I'm counting right. Yes, I am. And I'd like to go through these and just maybe kind of show you the fine points, no pun intended, of each, and some of the differences, and maybe some of the features and challenges of doing, in particular, the double grinds on folding knives, as well as the advantages of the double grind or dagger grind, double edge in the fixed blades. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to bring this guy in first. This is the crosshair by Microtech. I've had this knife a long time. I had ordered it in S30V and it came to me in D2. At the time, those were the only 2 steel choices from Microtech. It is a heavy knife. By the way, specs are available on the individual reviews on each of these knives. You'll find them out there on my channel. So a heavy-duty survival slash combat knife is the crosshair. The beauty of this double grind is that you've got a quick switch of a smooth edge for fine work and a very aggressive edge that is serrated on the top, which will just rip through cord and rope and even act as kind of a minor saw blade. It's got the fuller through the middle with suction relieving holes is all I can call them. Nice branding by Microtech. Strong handle out of what I'd call a resin. I don't believe it's G10. It's a very hard resin-like material. It's got the tri-wing screws on the handle on both sides so you can remove those handle slabs. And a flat, stout hammer on the pommel for use in combat or simply to maybe pound a stake in the ground or what have you. I'm not going to show the sheaths on any of these. All the fixed blades come with their Kydex sheaths. So moving on, let's jump 1 second. All right, we're going to jump to the Tops Ice Dagger, another fixed blade. Maybe what we'll do is get the fixed blades out of the way, and then we can move on to the folders. I don't have any real plan, you can tell. This is the Ice Dagger by Tops. It is a thinner, lightweight knife. It is out of their 1095 tool steel, I believe. They opted not to go with a stainless, even though this is kept pretty close to the body. It is DLC coated though. Nice red liners. I mean, it's kind of a cool, tactical looking knife. Can be used with the finger in the ring, although unless a ring is offset, and you can't do it on a dagger because it's got equal sides, the problem you run into is this. It's going to have a severe angle along the forearm, and you don't have the ability to jab that way. So I see the ring as a quick release mechanism out of the sheath to snag it with the finger and pull it out, and would prefer to use it something like that or something like that, or you could even do that. But the ring is really a little awkward with this as far as actually gripping it. It's a nice idea, nice concept. It purports to have a reinforced point. which probably does give you some actual extra thickness right out to there because of the very shallow grind or high grind. Again, it's an interesting concept. I'm not sure if they really pulled it off design-wise. It is comfortable if you choose not to use the ring, and you do have enough handle without the ring, which is a good thing, and a nice double guard. Whereas the crosshair over here has a lot of EDC, tactical combat, all-around use along with combat use. This is pretty much just a weapon, if you will. Okay, a cool one at that. But you can see how they handled the double grind just a little differently than on the crosshair. And one more fixed blade, also from Tops. This thing weighs like a pound and a half, I don't know, whatever it is. I bid on this and won it at a auction at theknifejunkie.com to benefit Therapeutic Edge at the time. It was going through some medical issues, and I said, well, what the heck, wouldn't be my first choice, but you know, to benefit a fellow Blade Channel content provider, why not? And look at the massiveness on this one. You do have a very nicely done, nicely executed double grind with a smooth edge on both sides, quite sharp really for the thickness of the blade and the fact that you don't have that high a grind. It's referred to as the eye stick. Again, it's out of 1095, has their traction or friction black coating, typical of Tops knives. A really nice green micarta, gray-green micarta handle that's bolted on, can be removed. Asymmetrical handle. I would imagine this is for kind of using as a thumb rest, meant to be best used through the space between the middle and ring fingers. So there is another dagger grind in a push dagger configuration. And you know what? I do have one more fixed blade. So we've got 7, not 6. If you're counting and saying, how come we can't count? That's probably why I've got 7 and not 6. This is the SBD dagger designed by Borka Blades and made by Microtech. It is an exquisite example of a dagger grind. Much like the crosshair, has that fuller with the holes drilled through. That is, traditionally back in the old days of combat, a fuller was used to break the suction after thrusting into the torso of the opponent, of the enemy. This has a ring that is a non-usable ring. However, again, it can be used for positive retraction from the holster, from the Kydex sheath. Black G10 handle, very comfortable in the hand, still slender, but with a nice palm swell. And it has a really nice stonewash finish and is done in M390 steel, premium steel. That is the SBD dagger. Let's get into some of the folders. This is the Fin by Bestek, one of my favorite all-around, I don't know if it's all around, but one of my favorite budget EDCs. It's about a $65 knife or so. I liked it so much I got 2 others in different configurations. Just a beautiful job they did with that grind. I believe it to be symmetrical, much as I can tell, which is a hard thing to pull off with a folding knife. As you can see, it's not ground on both edges. It can't be unless you're going to carry it in a holster, because that's going to be exposed in your pocket, and won't that be fun reaching in for it. Got lots of jimping all the way around. It is a beautiful on-bearing, smooth action for a lighter blade. They did a great job with that action. Nicely milled G10 handles, deep carry, ventilated clip that is not switchable. Sorry, lefties. Not sure why they didn't do it, but it is not switchable. And you got a nice lanyard hole to keep you happy instead. Black G10 backspacer and skeletonized lightning holes throughout. Very nice, light Dagger folder with great action. And so this one is the Han knife, and it is by, I'm going to have to cheat. Yes, it's by Steadman knives, Steadman knives. That is a really interesting dagger grind. Faceted edge. You've got the flat, you've got a facet, and you've got the edge. And let me see what they did. Yeah, they pretty much brought the edge all the way down. So there's no secondary bevel on the edge, as near as I can tell, on that side. And yeah, they do use a secondary bevel on one side, but not on the other. It's very interesting. And actually, I'm sorry, what I'm looking at is the flat, so that's got to be that way. Duh. But your primary edge here is a zero grind, for those of you that are familiar with that term. There's no secondary bevel there. There is a huge amount of blade choil space that you can fit a finger in there without any problems on either side. And this blade can be opened in the pocket with that hook of the blade. Pull it out, that hooks the pocket, comes all the way out. Or if you choose not to use the flipper, you can open it with that instead of with that. It's got a natural jade green handle, has lightning holes, and again is made by Steadman. Deep carry clip. It's just really, I should have looked right on the clip. It's pretty heavily branded. It is from Sandvik 14C28N. Just a really neat knife. Wasn't particularly expensive. I think these came in 50 bucks, 60 bucks at the most. And you don't see them out there that much, so I consider it kind of a collector. I'm going to jump over to our final and seventh knife, now that I've got my counting straight. And this is designed by Maxace for Tucson Knives. I believe it's the TS248, but let me verify that. Worse with numbers than with names. Well, yeah, I was right for a change. It is the TS248 by Maxace. Sandvik steel, 14C28N. I hope they make this in a premium steel one of these days. It's such a neat knife. And this is an asymmetrical grind. It's just a little bit off. The top edge slopes a little bit. The grind drops slightly. That may turn some people off, but sometimes that's what they have to do to fit it in the handle, you know. There's a lot of mechanics that goes into that. All titanium handle, hardened steel insert, and titanium pocket clip. So there we have our review of 7 dagger grinds in both fixed blade and folding configuration. Hope you enjoyed this. Don't forget to give it a like and subscribe. Catch you soon.